It's time for CIBL Biz Tips, bringing you actionable strategies to grow and improve your business. Prepare to become civilized.
What's up, Central Illinois? Welcome to CIBL Biz Tips, where we bring you concepts and strategies to grow your Central Illinois business. Today, we've got back in the studio Chris Harrison from Main Place Real Estate in Decatur, Illinois. If you joined us in session 2, you know we started talking a little bit about solving problems, and we talked mainly focused about taking ownership of those problems. So today, Chris, I'll let you kind of lead in on session 2, what we're going to be talking about, more problem solving. So go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. So yeah, in our first session, we talked about, defining the problem. Don't play the blame game, and then say, let's not have that problem happen again. Sometimes it's worth asking, is the problem worth solving? Is this really even a problem? As I've talked before, I'm in the real estate business, and it's an emotional situation. And sometimes people get worked up over, they didn't mow the grass. Okay, here's $40. I'll get the grass mowed for you. Enjoy your new home.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, is it really a problem? Is the first thing. And the second thing, is it a problem worth solving? Do we need to address it? Do we need to deal with it? I've had situations where a buyer moves in and they're like, hey, the seller didn't do this and this and this. And I go, okay, what are you looking for? Like, what would make you feel better? What kind of resolution are you wanting? And they go, nothing really. I just wanted you to know. Okay, great. I appreciate that. That's not a problem. That's being there to lend an ear to someone. But there really isn't anything that needs to be done. It was 2 weeks ago. The refrigerator the sellers had. So I plug in the refrigerator. A few hours later, we come back, we've closed and everything, and really didn't even bring it up. Thought, it'll be fine. The refrigerator is not cold yet. Now, refrigerators take some time to warm up and get cold. And so and I've got the buyer, and I just keep saying, give it another night. You got another fridge, it'll be fine. And we had a problem, and there was some costs to that. Talked about before. Let's give it a little bit more time, see if it kind of resolves itself and figure out what happens. And in the end, it resolved itself. I didn't have to call the other agent and get them all worked up, and have that agent call their client and get them all worked up and worried. And it was just, fridges need time to cool themselves back off. And we learned this when we went on vacation. We went into an Airbnb and we went to Walmart, got a carload of stuff, put it all in the fridge, and sat there and waited for it to get cold. 4 hours later, it's not cold. Well, it needs time. And the property management company was like, give it till noon tomorrow. It'll be fine. We see it all the time. So I think it's just, evaluating what is the solution? What is the problem? How are we going to get to a resolution?
Yeah. I have a similar story where, evaluating if it's really a problem worth solving, I guess you would say. So, of course, Garrett and I are in the insurance industry, have the opportunity to work on an account. And this particular account, it's a commercial account, and they'd had a lot of claims. I mean, a large amount of claims. And we just were not able to find a solution as far as a carrier to put them with that wanted to take on this risk that was having claim after claim after claim and big claims. So, for us, it was very frustrating because that's our livelihood is, like you said, if we don't make that sale, we don't, quote unquote, get to eat. That's what our livelihood is. So, but hindsight being 2020, we probably should have just backed off from the get-go, knowing what the situation was that we were getting into. So was it worth trying to, turn over every rock and stone to find a solution, knowing that this could continue to be a problem, moving forward? Or should we just say, okay, we did what we could. it's time to say, hey, we're not going to be able to help and move on to the next one. So I think there are situations, like you said, Chris, where you may not have a solution and it may not be worth spending more time trying to find a solution. When it could probably be in everybody's best interest to say, okay, I think it's best that we just stay calm. You stick where you're at right now, and, we'll see what happens a year from now or whatever happens. So I think there's definitely situations like that.
Chris, I thought you brought a great point up earlier. Sometimes the solution is just letting the client talk, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you just have to be there. They may not be happy. They could be disgruntled. It's a very bad situation, but after a 10-minute, 15-minute phone call of just letting them kind of bend your ear, it's amazing how things calm down when you assure them that you are on their side. You're going to do what's in their best interest. And it's amazing how many times that can just diffuse the whole situation right there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sometimes sometimes the worst thing you can do is not be there and not listen. And I had a situation that kind of brewed and developed over the last 10 days. And it came to, a few days of me and the client playing phone tag. And I could feel it boiling to where, all of a sudden it was last night at 7:45 and it was, we got to end this tag game because we have to talk because he needs to be heard.
Sure.
He needs to vent a little bit, and he needs to know that I'm frustrated too. I didn't like the way that situation went, but is there a solution other than moving on?
Yep.
And you're right. People just need to be heard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, I think
that's where the cut bait analogy comes from.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're fishing, you can pull on that thing. What's the best that can happen? You get your lure back. What's the worst that could happen? You get a hook in the eye.
Sure.
Right.
Just cut that thing and move on.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I'll just
analogy.
snap it, put a new one on.
Yep.
So.
I think most Central Illinoisans will connect with that one right there.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially in your area.
Yep. That's for sure. Well, I think that's a perfect wrap up for session number 2.
Okay.
So, is the problem worth putting more effort into, or is it best to just be left alone? So
Perfect.
we will talk a little more, Chris, in session 3 next week. And until next time, everybody listening, y'all have been civilized. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can also connect with us personally there as well. See y'all next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CIBL Podcast. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It's the civilized thing to do.